Every spring, Northwestern singers, dancers, writers, and composers collaborate on the world's most famous college musical revue. It's called the Waa-Mu Show, and for more than 75 years, it's been a stepping stone for future stars of Broadway and Hollywood.
I'm Dominic Massimi. I am head of the music theater program at Northwestern University. I am also the director of the Waa-Mu Show.
As director, Dominic Massimi's goal is to guide his student stars through the year-long production and give them a big push as they start their careers.
Back in 1929, the students came together, the Women's Athletic Association and the Men's Union. Thus we got the WAA-MU, which simply became the Waa-Mu Show in the years that followed. Waa-Mu is a really serious attempt to make new kinds of music theater, where we really encourage young writers to try their hand at writing for the music theater and give incredibly talented students an opportunity to perform in a big first-class production. The Waa-Mu Show has evolved into something that, I believe, is far more professional and far more like what you would be doing if you were doing a Broadway musical. There is an intensity about it, and the intensity comes from the fact that you're working under a very pressurized small period of time with a very large group of people.
One of the students who managed the production of Waa-Mu feels that pressure for the year it takes to create the show. Amanda Krieg worked on Waa-Mu behind the scenes her entire college career, and as a senior, she was one of the 2 student co-chairs.
To make it worthwhile, you really have to give all of yourself to it, and while that's happening, you sort of hate it, and you sort of hate being a part of it because you're just so devoted to it. But then at the end of it, it means there's no more rewarding feeling than seeing the show that you created go up.
Waa-Mu is an opportunity to me for students during their undergraduate experience to just get as much hands-on experience with the world of musical theater.
You wouldn't be able to put a show like this without 100 people who really wanted to make it happen. So literally from day one, you have to be in love with it.
It's such a long and hard process going from the very beginning of the year when you don't even know what the show's about, to writing the songs, to composing, to notating the songs, which each song alone takes, hours just to plunk in each little, note, make sure it's all right. Then you get Dominic, who's like, I don't really like the ending. Let's switch up the ending and get, so after, the rewrites and all those stuff. That's just fall quarter.
After the 75th anniversary gala production of Waa-Mu that emphasized years of tradition, the 2007 version took a significant turn toward a more contemporary look and sound.
In my experience in the past 4 years, most of the numbers have been more traditional music theater, but this year is definitely different, and I think that they have succeeded in doing what they planned with the club by making it something new and fresh and definitely more suitable for our generation. And I think, though, at the same time, keeping our audience in mind, which tends to be a little bit older, they still seem to be really enjoying the show.
There's a cappella, there's hip-hop, there's MTV dance numbers, there's beautiful ballads, old-fashioned music theater, and there's also a lot of rock. We wanted the audience to have an experience that was extraordinarily varied.
In this show, you get, the girl who looks really sweet but happens to just really appreciate one-night stands. You get the couple that really, they don't know how to communicate. They just text each other. And you get the guy who would rather have a tap number about alcohol than, than the evening progress any further.
If you want me to dance, get me some alcohol. I'm the king of romance, with bourbon to break my fall.
He's kind of a loser in a way, and he's not very good with the girls, and he doesn't have really suave things to say or anything like that. So he's so kind of the premise of the song is that once he kind of shrinks enough and like gets a little loose around the edges, then he's like, you know, really suave and like can do everything and he can dance. And that's like the real kick of the number is like you know, it's kind of like awkward. He's awkward, and then all of a sudden it's this huge tap number.
I play the girl in the red dress who does the big tango number in the show. The number that I get to do is completely opposite from anything that I've ever done in the past, because I always play the sort of, I mean, Dominic always sort of casts me and sees me as the sweet ingenue wife, mother, you know, any of those kinds of roles. And so to be able to sort of do something fun and flirty and in a sparkly red dress is a lot of fun. At Northwestern, I feel like I've been so privileged to be able to perform a lot of material that has never been seen before.
Yo, 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 yo.
Why you still around when you know everybody knows?
Keep it down now.
Messing in my crowd, but baby, everybody knows.
So you're proud now?
The biggest strength WaaMu has is that it allows original material, which I've been lucky enough to have one of my songs presented, to be broadcast to so many people who would otherwise not have a chance to see new work by young composers, and those young composers would not have a chance to have their work displayed.
That's where I think my experience helps the students to create what they're going to do. It's perhaps Dominic who says, oh, there's a salsa number. All we hear is that there's a number called salsa. And then my mind starts ticking and I think, Carmen Miranda. What happens if the salsa is a headdress on a table and suddenly the table opens up and there is a guy in drag who is Carmen Miranda?
And I come out and I am the salsa. I am this voluptuous woman salsa who then proceeds to sing the virtues of myself. It was just a chance for me to really let loose and do all of the most ridiculous, crazy things, and for Dominic to tell me, no, even that's not enough, I want more.
It doesn't get any better than the opportunity of that fall, winter, spring scenario of let's write a musical, let's see how it all fits together in the winter and cast it, and let's throw it up in the spring, and it's our big spring release. That and my favorite part, which is I have 55 best friends right now. And more than that, because the orchestra and the crew, in addition, there's over 100 people right now who I, in between shows, go to the beach with, and we have barbecues, and those are the memories, in addition to the process of working on the show, that will go with me always.
WaaMu is unique. People have this opportunity to come to school and not even be, like music majors or theater majors, be whatever major you want, and come in and be a part of this process, and then have these incredible resources, but also these really creative and talented people working with you to make this great show.
At times, WaaMu can be so frustrating, but at other times, like all that frustration, it becomes worth it. So I feel like after 4 years, I'll know that I've done something here at Northwestern. I know I've left my mark here at Northwestern.
Experiences that we get working with all these different choreographers, with all these different sketch directors, obviously working with Dominic, who's a fantastic director, with these composers and the musicians that we bring in for the performance. I think all of that really contributes to the entire cast and the entire team having fantastic experience for when we are forced to leave Northwestern, whether we want to or not.
Can I tell you? Washington Mutual.